I'll bring you everything that is trending in the world of social media and more. And as you know, a lot has happened in the world of social media. Nelson Etta is standing by to put us up to speed. Good morning, Nelson.
Good morning, Rhea. And of course, from this part of the desk, I'm standing indeed by to tell you. And a lot of wonderful things happened, you know, on social media in just one day. I can't wait to deliver all of that.
Take it away.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on Trending Now right here on TVC. We're beginning with this very wonderful story, I would say. What does it say about our values when a teenager makes it rain with cash as if it's a badge of honor? That question is dominating social media after a viral video showed a young boy popularly known as TikTok as asked for funds, spraying bundles of money at a pool party. In a widely shared clip, the teenage TikToker, who appears to be between age 14 and 17, is seen throwing cash into the air while other boys cheer on him. The location of the hotel pool party has not been identified, but the video has sparked intense reactions online. Many Nigerians are questioning the source of the money, with some linking the display to so-called Yahoo Yahoo, culture of a slang term used to describe internet fraud. Critics argue that such scenes promote flashy wealth among minors and reinforce troubling stereotype about youth and quick money. However, others say it's no confirmed evidence of wrongdoing and caution against rushing to conclusions based solely on a viral video clip. As the video continues to trend and authorities have yet to comment, the controversy is reigniting conversations about social media influence, teenage fame, and the pressure to display wealth online. I can't imagine the numerous reactions you had to say, and would like to show you some of those at this time. Omo is saying they need to arrest this boy and rehabilitate him before this goes out of hand, and he tagged the EFCC and the police. Well, maybe. And Andy is saying this Yahoo is now a cancer eating up Nigeria teenagers and youths, and the government are silent. These boys should all be in the classroom reading their books. Well, and finally, on this particular matter, Chris is saying we are witnessing the death of discipline in real time when the basic scenes of order or sense of order and public decency evaporates at this level. It's not just a pool party issue. It's a preview of how the next generation will handle leadership and law. Truly terrifying. But before we get to the table, let's just get on a quick break and come back for more. You're watching TVC Breakfast. Of course, we are at Trending Now, and we just talked about the story of a young boy who was throwing money around at a pool party. Etoma, Rhea and Ibrahim, we couldn't play that video clip, you know, because of the sensitivity of the matter, but this young boy was just going around throwing money recklessly, you know, around a pool party, just feeling himself. Does this look right?
No, it doesn't look right. There's a law against things like that, you know, the defacing the naira and so on. And for a young man, it's a toxic combination for a young man to have plenty money, you know.
No, Etoma, a young boy.
Oh, okay, young boy. Yes, boy, because from his description, it's not even up to 17 years old. For a young boy to have so much money, you expect to see some very crazy things happening. I don't think we should just sit down and say, well, maybe he's a TikToker and that's how he got his money. I think the authorities should get interested in this story.
All right, so when I saw the video first, I asked myself, I thought they said we shouldn't deface the naira. So what is happening? You know, why are we seeing that happening? You know, just the money was all over the floor. And then for me, it just takes us back to our morals. How are we teaching our children to be better people? Because he's quite a young guy. Nelson, everything we blame it on the government. But I tell you what, a lot of these young people right now, they do not even want to work hard. In our days, how we used to struggle to work hard, now everybody wants to make money easily. And then they blame it on the government. So I think that for parents, there's a whole lot that we need to instill in, you know, young children. Because for him to do this, he's probably seen somebody do it, you know, and that's why he feels like it's right for him to do it.
Of course.
What are we doing that our children are watching? I mean, their children, I don't have children. You know, what are we doing that they're watching? Because what they see is what they will do. And oftentimes, we cannot always be blaming the government. Some people are just there. They do not want to work. They want to do bad vices and they want to make money quickly. Now, these people are also making Nigerians look bad. But we have other young Nigerians that are doing really well. The other day, the lady that went to Sanwo-Olu, she she was spelling bee. She did fantastic well. A young girl. We have young people that do amazing things. But then again, these bad eggs will now spoil, you know, the good ones. So I think we need to look into this matter. Of course, it's a young child, so maybe he cannot be arrested, but he needs to be brought in, questioned, you know, ask the parents, where did he get this kind of money from? And also, we need to take this back to our parents. You see your young people with some kind of money, you're not asking them where they got it from. So it goes different ways, actually, Nelson.
Yeah, in theory of mass communication, there's something they call cultivation analysis, when people tend to, you know, parrot or live based on what they've seen, maybe the media violence in terms of shooting, killing, and even something like this. When you have even those who are supposed to be elderlies, always shouting money in our water on social media, you know, spraying money, doing all sort of things with money, they're facing money. The younger generation, they are actually looking, they are watching, they are seeing what these guys are seeing, and they see it as a norm. So they also want to live in that, you know, that kind of, they want to live that kind of lifestyle. They want to live in that kind of spirit. So I do not entirely blame this young generation. I think the older generations have actually failed this younger generation. But all the same, crime is crime. The EFCC, the CBN, everyone is supposed to look for where these guys are, where that actually happened. If it's a hotel, the hotelier should also be arrested for something like that to have allow something like that to have gone on in his hotel. So this is so sad. You know, this is moral degradation to of his height order. So we just have to get it right. Anyway.
Nobody's against him having money. You know, it's the way you had it and how you use the money. But well said, Table. But the next story is also on water, but this one goes a little different from the first one. A tense moment played out on Tuesday night at a waterfront in Lagos after a man in Lagos was rescued from the edge of the sea following an emotional breakdown linked to an alleged cheating incident involving his wife. The dramatic scene quickly went viral online, drawing attention from both eyewitnesses and social media users. According to people at the scene, the visibly distressed man was standing dangerously close to the waterfront while on a video call believed to be with his wife. Bystanders, including commercial motorcyclists, reportedly rushed in and pulled him back just in time, preventing what could have turned into a tragedy. Clips circulating online capture the tense rescue, with people seen pleading with him to step away from the edge of the water. Moments after he was rescued, some members of the crowd were seen confronting and scolding him as he sat on the ground in tears. The incident has since sparked intense reactions online, with many Nigerians calling for empathy and better mental health awareness, while others warned against recording or shaming people during moments of emotional distress. This absolutely is a very sad one, and would let you see some of the things you had to say about this matter right here. Luxil again. She's saying here, who would blame the man? It's never easy, especially when you know as a man you're doing your very best to see your family never lacks, and she repays you back in this manner. However, ending it this way isn't the best solution. I'm glad people intervene. I'm also glad, my dear sister, that happened. Joe is saying your life is worth more than anyone's betrayal. Etoma, Ria and Ibrahim, that last tweet couldn't have said it better. His life is worth 1,000,000 times more than the betrayal of his wife.
You see, at times it's difficult for you to say, to wade into matters like this. When it has to do with the heart, things can go way to the left or way to the right. You know, I just wonder how what the woman must have done to him, but he is heartbroken. So maybe we should tell the young man, you know, love your wife as much as you can, but keep some for yourself so you don't have a breakdown like this.
I don't know, Toma. Well, for me, I will always say love with all your heart, but expect the unexpected, because human beings, it could have been the other way around. You know, and oftentimes, if this man had killed himself, what will he go and tell God? I killed myself because of a particular person that God also created. We need to understand mental health, and I think that's what he's facing. No matter the betrayal that you've passed through in life, it's not what you killing yourself for any human being. Like, I would just want to stamp that. It's not worth it. All of us on this table, in one way or the other, we've gone through breakup, really painful breakup. Yeah, Ibrahim, I'm sure you too. Etoma, Nelson, even you, I'm sure you've gone through hot breakup.
I've cried before.
Exactly, we've all cried. But at the end of the day, what do? You pick your pieces up and you make yourself better. But you cannot say you're taking your life because someone has broken your heart or because you've been betrayed by someone. No, it doesn't work that way, actually. When you get to heaven, God will actually question you.
Ibrahim, while I understand what Ria just said, there are levels to break up. And it can have a lot of mental weight on you, depending on the level of intense relationship you all had.
I think by the time we realize that in this world, nothing is guaranteed.
Yes.
Nothing is 100%. Nothing belongs to you.
Yeah.
That's why they say when you buy food, the food does not belong to you until you eat it and it gets into your tummy. That's when it belongs to you. You should know that you are in partnership with your wife, with your relative, whatever. One way or the other, one day there might be separation. Separation either by cheating, separation either by death or anything. So nothing belongs to us. Even our soul does not belong to us. So why kill yourself for losing something that you can get 1,000,000 times of that? So that's when you lose your value, your worth. So I feel that this orientation should change. The fact that my alpha and my omega should be on certain human being. No, it has to be rest on God, so that when you have failure, disappointment today, then you expect that He's going to provide something better, instead of that. So why?
And Nelson, funny enough, that's the mistake that a lot of people, make. Even me, we make that mistake. You're with somebody and you feel like that person is your all in all. Who tells you that that person will not leave you or betray you at some point? So we need to, make our mind strong. Right now, it's iron that is there. So, not shaking.
Yeah, your eyes have seen no.
Not shaking.
But let's get to our next story, which would leave you aghast at this incident that took place in Ojota after a man reportedly stopped his own stolen vehicle by standing directly in its path. The shocking moment captured on video has been making the rounds online. The move drew loud reactions from passers-by and quickly created chaos at the scene. Within moments, a crowd gathered surrounding the suspected thief, with some reportedly delivering instant street justice before the situation later calmed. It remains unclear whether the suspect was formally handed over to the police, but the viral clip is now sparkling conversations about rising theft concerns and the growing trend of mob reactions in public spaces. I couldn't imagine the level of reactions you had to say, and these are some of those. Edge says Ojota is the place or the last place you want to be caught with a stolen car. The jungle justice street trial starts instantly. My brother, I absolutely agree. Tukan is saying, what if the person driving brought the stolen car? People do not think. They always look for situations like this to beat people, even when they aren't sure. And the final tweet on this particular matter, Prince is saying the carjacker deserves the harsh hit punishment under the law. We don't, or we won't have a functional country until there are strict laws that truly deter crime and protect innocent people. Leto Maria and Ibrahim. According to this story right here, this man was chasing somebody who allegedly stole his car, and the best way he could do that was to put himself in front of the vehicle. This could have turned another way out.
Oh yes, that man. Look, one of the reactions you read is really cracking me up. Ojota is the worst place for that kind of stuff to happen. But for the man to risk his life because of a car, I'm not too comfortable with that. But the risk paid off. I'm sure he's gotten his car back, or he's in the process of getting his car. And that carjacker, look, Ojota is actually the wrongest place for that to happen.
For me, I'll start with, don't try this at home. Never try to go in front of a moving car. You can never tell what happens. He was just lucky. You may not, be lucky. And we all know what Ojota is. I've never been there, but I've heard stories, about how the place is. And you read one tweet, and people are just ready to beat people up. I do not support jungle justice in any way or any form. Go to the authorities. And that's why right about now, we need our authorities to be very responsive and very fast so that people can believe in taking issues to them. But I wish him well.
But we have to take
first thing first, when you get a car, the first thing you should do is to put a tracker in the car. A tracker that you can, remotely control your car, whether it is stolen or anything. You can just switch off the engine wherever the person is. So, and again, as Ria said, do not try this at home. That's a huge stunt that the owner of that car, staged out there. but the person that actually stole in the center of Ojota can be peaceful, and it can be very, very chaotic, can be, anything. It's very, very volatile in Ojota if you're not very careful. But then whether Ojota or anything, I think taking something that doesn't belong to you, including stealing meat from the pot, is criminal. So you should be very, very careful. And that person should be served justice.
We hammered that meat on the pot. It starts with that, actually.
It's true, Brian. Ojota can be either ways, because I think about 2 years ago, my tire had an issue just crisscrossing through Ojota, and thankfully, the boys came out and assisted me. Exactly. But they started away with some notes, But thank you guys, well said.